All right, I want to talk about measuring the code review experience. So far in code review, we're thinking of um, tracking the different phases in the code review cycle from beginning review assignment, um, looking at the review engagement, time in review, and like the time after approvals. And to get a better picture on this, I've created an issue to capture extra things that we may need to query, such as last approval and last commit when the first review or assignment happened, and trying to distinguish between whether it was a reviewer or an agent and things like that. So this is off the back of the work that we've been doing with product analytics to dig deeper into what we've already captured so that we can resurface this information back to ourselves to understand the impact of our features, but also for teams to better understand their code review cycles. And we kind of already have this within the product via value stream analytics. And we have this idea of like code review, build analysis, deployment. And this kind of maps up to this idea of, time in review, the time after approvals, like that from deployment. So thinking about things like that. But one thing I want to suggest is that instead of showing this line chart, that perhaps that we can change the chart type only to show a better representation of where things kind of fall in. Because a lot of the feedback I've gotten so far around, the existing information we have around code review metrics is that sometimes you need to exclude some merge requests because they're out of scope or they were the anomaly from the usual standard pattern. So what I did was then I went to here and looked at the data that was being returned. So this is all neatly returned in the JSON format. And what I did with that was just created this prototype where I took this data and mapped it into this kind of idea, the scatter plot. So from here, just by looking at this, we have a summary of the general code review. The only downside of this approach is that like that first page is only the 50 first MRs, but there's probably more merge requests that that's used in the calculation for this. There's 216 items. I don't know how to query all those elements yet, but if I did, I can like update the data file to use for loading this page. So based on just the 50 first MRs, we can see that like, okay, cool. This is the average cycle time. The fastest was 4 days and the slowest is 38. That's something, and that's information that we currently do not represent here. So just at a glance, I'm getting some kind of information here. And as we can see, most of the MRs are like actually between like, what's this? 9 days and let's say like 28 days. But we have some of these anomalies. So let's remove some of these anomalies and let's see. We can see that in real time, our average cycle time gets improved, like recalculated. So this might give a better representation of what our actual merge request cycle time looks like. Right now, I am just loading, I just hard coded some of this information in, but you can actually upload your own JSON file. So right now I had the code review team. I previously exported some of the source code data team. So if I open that, I load that up, that's still 50, so I'm going to clear. But you can see it has a different pattern. The cycle times seem much longer, and I don't know why, but you can click on this, and you can see that Hunter, who's part of the source code team, shows up in here. Gavin, so this I think is a nicer way to interact with the data around our value stream analytics. And also giving the ability to exclude and real-time updates will give us a better representation of how we can understand our cycle times a lot better from both a developer experience, but also a product impact standpoint. Thank you.